player most likely to become the new Dillon Brooks? Jay, go ahead.
Oh, we've been waiting.
Dillon Brooks. It's still Dillon Brooks.
I was
Same
going to
answer.
say the
Sorry,
exact
so we're
same
unanimous.
thing.
Yeah, it's the exact same thing. He just hit somebody in the dick.
Four
4 minutes into preseason, he just hit someone in the dick.
He is back.
Allow me to reintroduce
Oh my
myself. My
God.
name is Dillon Brooks.
And you know what this is? You know what the new Dillon Brooks is? Wealthy. This is Dillon Brooks with $80 million now coming his way.
Burn on
Guaranteed.
fine.
There is like that was him in a contract year. A contract year. He was doing all that nonsense.
Yes, I love it.
And now
5
that
minutes
dude
into
has
money to burn,
money.
baby.
Yes.
He's throwing out dick taps in preseason. He's ready to maybe ramp it up a little
Setting the
bit.
tone.
Every time you think he should tone it down, he goes the other direction.
I like that he thought Daniel Tice was like selling it. I like that he was like, oh, I don't think I got it. Like, we can see it. You know,
What's
these
crazy
games
to
are
me
televised.
is he leans into this behavior, but then when confronted about it, he's like, "Oh, what was that guy's fault?"
That's
Right.
why he's the best.
He's all about it, right? Like he's getting in people's faces, doing all this extra shit. And then after the game, they're like, "Why'd you do that, man?" He's like, "Well, that's his bad. That's his fault. He started
the
it.
media built this up.
The media built this
The media
up. Like,
tricked the refs into
if-
calling a tech on me.
If you're gonna do it, do it.
Yeah.
Just do it."
Right. Josh,
Just
do you
do
remember a guy like what do you do with a guy who has that reputation? Is it in your mind when you're on the court with someone like that, or it only is in your mind once it happens? Like a guy who's a nut puncher.
It only is in your mind when because you have to remember, I was on the team when Draymond kept kicking people in the nuts.
That's right.
When Draymond kicked Steven in the nuts,
Yeah.
I was on that team, and like
Yeah.
you don't think about it because that's not something I should have to think about
Agree.
when I'm playing. I should not be out there going like, "Oh man, really hope I don't get hit in the nuts today."
Yeah.
Like that's not
a
something
great
that
point.
happens in the true flow of the game. And,
What, man, we could do a whole episode on just
but
that.
man, like that
dynamic.
when it kept happening,
Yeah.
you're like, okay, maybe. Twice, like this guy's
Basically, like, all right,
was that something where you guys are in the locker room just talking about how Draymond just keeps repeatedly kicking people in the dick?
yes, yeah, and giving Steven a super hard time about it.
I would say this about like there is a bravery in him doing it to Steven Adams, right? Like it's one thing if he does it to somebody else.
Right.
Steven's no joke. Like he's a nice dude.
Yeah,
he's a nice
for
dude,
sure.
but if that flipped, he would level
Yeah.
cities.
Yeah, I've only
There's
ever
nothing
seen
to do.
Steven flip one time.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
we
it
need to
was
hear this.
it was in LA. We were playing the Clippers, and I forget who it was, came down, attacked the basket, went at Steven and like hit him in the chest or something like that. Something a little dirty, wasn't called. Steven drops. That guy runs back on defense, and I see Steven lift. And you know that look you see players do where they're like, the play is going on, but it's over in their head. Like you see them and they're on like that warpath down the court, tunnel vision.
We've seen that. We've seen that
Like
Jokic a
Giannis
few
with
times.
Mike Dunleavy.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking. So he's like on that warpath down the court, headed
great
straight for this guy. And the guy
Yeah.
has his back to him. And Steve's coming down the court, like pointing at him. And he turns and sees Steven, and his immediately hands go up like this. And it's like, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. It was an accident. Immediately apologized.
He's the strongest guy in the league.
Yeah.
In the world.
Yeah. Well,
Probably.
Peck still exists. Peck still
Peck,
exists.
well, Peck, guys running mobs back in Serbia.
Yeah.
But
for him.
that's, yeah, good for
Yeah.
quite a
One of my-
career change.
One of my favorite players I've ever covered.
yeah,
Just
I liked
the
him.
best.
I liked him too.
Oh my God.
Terrifying human being.
So nice though. Terrifying
he?
human beings, but oh my God, he was the nicest guy. And then
Yeah.
one time I've said this on the pod before, but one of my favorite Peck stories is he got this grizzly bear tattoo on his forearm. And we asked him why. And he's like, everybody's afraid of bear. I'm like, yeah, I mean, I get it. Yeah. That's,
Sure.
I mean,
Absolutely, bud. Good
yeah,
for you.
that's good logic right there.